Don't have. Okay, there you go. Oh man. Let's repeat it. Okay. Good afternoon, sessionistas and photogs, and welcome to Photogs Life. My name is Chris Calumberan, and I am the chief photographer and founder of Chris Calumberan FZE. Please visit our social media pages or social media links. Our links are down below. Awesome. Then, there you go. I was wondering why I don't have sound. Awesome. Fine. So now, we had a brief chance to visit Al Tawun, Sharjah exposure in Sharjah. It's in their trade hall in Al Tawun, and it was so brief. I wanted to really stay for a while because I'm meeting a lot of friends there, and I'm meeting a lot of seeing a lot of people and seeing a lot of work, phenomenal photographers and amazing, gadgets and bits and bobs. I found a supplier of the aluminum metal prints that I've been longing to have for my own work. And the mounting that they have is so easy and straightforward, not like the one that I found, years back. And yeah, very very happy with the class. It's so exciting because it's our third week, and oh my goodness, I was happy for one of my students because his mom got him a D7 500. I've been pushing for him to have the 750, but since budget wise and everything, they want to settle for a lesser camera, which I persuaded not to, because since um, Keelan, a friend, my student is, I have a son. I have a son who is 17 years old, and I know for a fact the frustration of not knowing what you really want to do during those course in time. And luckily, my I see it with my son. He already knows, and he's not there yet, but he is practicing his passion. He has an outlet of his own, which is writing, and he do help with the photography, um, whenever he has time or whenever it is um, possible for him. Because I don't try to like force him to do jobs that are a bit difficult for him. That's why that I find it a bit serious for him. So I want him to experience it slowly, and I want him to find his own passion and his own way of realizing that, okay, this is something that I would love to do in the future. So that those are the reasons why I try not to force him to do things that he would not choose to do by himself. Awesome. And the topic for today is quite well. It's out there, but it's kind of like this is what I felt when I was in that situation, and when I was in that age. Although I'm very passionate enough to do things that I kind of like touch my fingers on, kind of like get related with. I joined catechism. I enjoyed teaching. I enjoyed web designing, visual arts, and music also. I'm pretty much like a jack of all trades, but I have not mastered anything, especially when it comes to graphic designing. The reason being was it's a self-taught thing. I taught myself by watching my brother do his designing, and he wasn't very vocal of teaching me. I was just, behind him and watching how, because back in the days there were no shortcut keys, and I've been watching him do bits and pieces of uh, graphic stuff, especially with Photoshop and Illustrator. And his path was, he became more of the vector graphic person, and I'm more of the raster graphic person, which is on the programming side and the web designing side, Photoshop. I think I think that was the key, or that was the door for me to open up in photography. And he was in the graphic side, vector graphic side of things, which is for printing. And yeah, he is still happily working as a graphic designer, and we work together with our own venture, small venture. And occasionally, we get to work with each other. And yes, I found this article from themuse.com. Themuse.com. It was written by Miss Amber Ray. I hope I mentioned her name correctly. Amber Ray. On on the wrong path. Are you on the wrong path? This is 6 steps to finding your way. So basically, this is my own rendition of her article. I read the article, and it was nicely done. She was sharing her own experience. She was sharing her own she has her own experience when it comes to this. She lost her job and found the person, and found the venture that they would be, that they are, sharing with. And wow, it was, I hope it worked out for her, because this was written, quite a while. Let's start. Awesome. And number one, do what you can with what you have. Wow. This really clings to me and really resonate, because only those things that you have, if you're resourceful enough, and knowing that you have a project that is, that will make you, shall I say, you believe in that project so much that you really want to do it, focus it, and do something about it, and have it, grown legs by itself and run. And I've been in that situation for many many times, because I initiate a lot of stuff when it comes to personal projects, because sometimes you rather do it in a way that you are not waiting for anyone to hand it over to you. That's number one. It's not just not having someone to give you a project, but since you have yourself, do what you can with what you have. You have yourself, and do it yourself. DIY. Especially when it comes to self, um, promotion. How you would be out. How would you be able to present yourself out there to find new leads, to find new ventures or adventures or misadventures, or shall I say, opportunities to open up for you, especially this speaking, the speaking jobs, or the speaking engagements that I do now, and I'm enjoying it, because one of the first loves that I have is, speaking to people. and speaking to crowds and education. I'm an educator. I hope, you know, I'll be more, stronger and wiser for the people who I speak with, so I can inspire them, and it does implies to work with what you have, you know, um, but not settling for what it is. You always find a way to venture or look for or be more resourceful. And it, production really taught me to be resourceful. Production really taught me to ask for help, to pull strings, pull the right strings, and use your influence so that you would be able to create something unique, create something creative, and work for the benefit of not just for yourself but for others. Do what you can with what you have. It's a very nice saying, and I believe in that. I believe in that. Number two, yeah, listen to your inner voice. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. How many times that I have failed by ignoring the gut feeling that I have, because I believe in democracy, but sometimes democracy doesn't really work. It doesn't work. Um Settling for people who are, it really depends, right? I mean, if you do have a margin of error, if you do have a wider margin of error, you will let things happen. And letting things happen is not only just um it's not only just having the person learn from what he decided to, but also incorporates the negativity of your wasting time. If you know you're right, push it. If you know you're right in a project, push it. But every time, not most of the time, not every time, you're wrong, and you need to accept that you're wrong, and you need to be agreeable that when proven wrong, you apologize or you admit your wrongdoing. But if you don't listen to your voice, if you don't listen to your gut, sometimes it leads to bad experiences or bad results, and you will end up on saying or mentioning the words that I really hate mentioning. I told you so. The I told you so phrase that I don't want to utter even to my wife or even to my colleagues. And I do my best to brainstorm on things or not rush into things when it comes to decisions. And by doing that, it saves a lot of time. But before doing that, make sure that you don't have too much things on your plate, because you need to like swiftly or quickly decide on things. You cannot just leave things hanging. But by doing that, you can only do that if you don't have that much of obligations given to you, or you don't have too much things on your plate. And listening to your voice, if it's in a personal matter, that's easily done. You can do that. And but if you do have a lot of things behind you, surrounding you, telling you what to do, listen to them, but do it anyways. Do it anyway, especially if you do have a large margin for error. What I mean to say, if you're still young, if you're, if the project's still starting, if the year's just starting, if, you have another month of a deadline, um but listening to your voice sometimes leads you to a better situation, because you do know that if something in you, especially your values, especially your upbringing, if you have those things that are embedded to you by your parents while growing up, while you're and you think that an action will result to unethical proportion or immoral proportions, or things like that, you need to like listen to really to yourself and tell your project people or yourself to not do it. As simple as that. Why make it so complicated, Chris? Number 3, redefine success. Wow, this is a big one for me as well. This girl Amber, she does know what she's doing, and she has a really nice um take on the situation that she had. And redefining success for me is, what is success for you? Is it what social media shows you? Is it what these pop star and rapper shows you, like, throwing money, buying stuff, being in a Lamborghini, having a Ferrari, um you can have all the money in the world, but then again, if you don't have your loved ones with you, or if you don't have anyone that cares for you genuinely, well, I don't think that is successful. you know Success, it would be not measured by monetary gains, although monetary and financial gains and um assets and what do you call this, belongings, really does help you to be comfortable in life, which is also a very important factor of feeling successful. But that's not everything. That is not everything. Redefining success, especially in what I was doing. um we agreed that this, before doing the Alcasba thing, we agreed that, okay, this might not lead to an amount that we are that we would like to spend on for a weekend. This is not like the amount that we have agreed on or comfortable of receiving for a weekend's paycheck. No. So, but we agreed to do it anyways. We agreed to do it anyways, because of the love for it, because of the passion for it, and because of the trial, and because of the experimentation, shall I say. And we do need to create bridges so that we can cross the other side. And building that bridge means investing your time, investing your knowledge and relationships. Investing your time to build relationships, so that you would be able to be profitable in the end. That's how, even if I started with 3 attendees, I mean, if I have one person there who would find the lesson really useful for them, or it inspired them to think, it's inspired them to move, and to wake up every weekend, to wake up every day, seizing the moment and practicing art. you know that's a successful thing for me. That is success for me. um I mean, it's really fulfilling. It's a fulfillment, especially with teachers. Having your student still remember you after 20 years, that is a successful thing, that is as fulfilling as it gets, even though you might not be in the stage of having the monetary success. What matters most is you are being surrounded by the people that you love. So that's number three, redefining success. Yeah, find someone who believes in you. Ooh. Because during the article I was writing, and she found someone, well, they might have end up being partners, and it's nice. I mean, to find someone who believes in you, especially um, you have the compatibility. Uh, you're compatible. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're compatible, it lifts. It's easier to to travel. It's easier in the gut. You don't have that unnecessary stress where you always argue even between small things, because you have that common sense together and you flow. The flow is more, it's a plus. It's a plus. But if you look for someone who believes in you, start believing in yourself first, because if there's no one, who would be, but you yourself believe in you. um that's why, the number two is believe in your inner voice, believe in yourself, listen to yourself, listen to your gut, and that will, guide you. The values that you have learned, your upbringing that was given to you, the experiences that you have, from the past, that will all sum up of how or what kind of person you are. um will be your foundation. If you are really congruent, if you are believable, if you are trustworthy, if you do have the thing that other people will, eventually follow you. Believe in yourself first, that you can do things, nicely, as what you have, dream of, or goal upon, or wrote upon. And yeah, but again, if you do find someone who believes in you, it will be a leverage. It will be a leverage that will help you move mountains, move rocks, move nature, especially in our new partnership with, my friends. I would not, I have proved that it's so difficult to do it by yourself. It's so difficult to do things by yourself, and to do things um, alone. Being a one man band, it's really, a death wish. Well, not a death wish, but it will be full of challenges, and you might end up shooting yourself on the leg. But you people do need to go through past those things, and go through past those experiences, so that they will be learned. There will be learned and experience what not to do in the next project. Because if you were doing it by yourself in the start, you would be able to teach yourself, important things, or things that you should do next, or you should not do next, especially when you find your that person who believes in you, or that partner that will serve as a leverage for you to move things, for you to, to be in the next level. Other than, because if you don't do that, if you don't work for yourself for first, you would end up procrastinating, or settling for mediocre. And nothing is worse for me than mediocrity. Uh, yeah. I wouldn't say, um, you know, it's kind of like, if you're going to execute something that you have thought of. Don't just execute something that it's just there. You know, try to create something that you didn't copy. Something original. There's some, oh my god, I can't stress enough. I just saw something that it's just like a total Xerox copy of things that happened already, and I don't wanna. It's just, oh my god. Anyway, man, talk about taste. You can't buy taste, man. I know for sure you have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you find someone who believes in you, do it in the right way. Do it yourself first, and then if you find that person, then you are practiced, you are learned, you are equipped with experiences left and right, and it's gonna be easier for you guys to speak, because it's either you are educating that person who believes in you, or you're educating each other, or this person already has begun experiencing things that you are just new of, and you're learning from this person. This is a right chemistry, this is the right chemistry to go to. um yeah, that's the point, I mean, yeah. Start believing in yourself first before looking for someone who believes in you, so that it's gonna be an easier conversation, it's gonna be an easier journey. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh dear, Chris. Pick something. Man, why am I discussing this? Let me explain myself. Why is this connected to photography? Pick something. Pick your camera. Start walking. Start doing. Start shooting. Keep on shooting. Keep on walking. Pick up something. Pick up something from an article like this. Pick something from an inspirational video that you've seen. Pick something from a friend who had a mistake. Try to learn from that. Try try to learn from things that you can discard things that is useless, and keep those things that are useful, and keep on adding into that experiences. Pick something. um it inspired me to discuss about this article because of a student of mine who is, I feel, from day zero, from day one, he was just slumped. He's, but the time when he got the camera, the time when he got that purchase, man, his aura is unbelievably striking. It was peaking, and he was glowing. His smile, ah man, there's no better feeling than to have someone be happy like that. And you inspire that person. I inspire that person. I inspire that person to get something that will make him happy, that will give direction to his life. you know that is why I am inspired of discussing this article. Pick up something. Pick up yourself. If you're broken, pick up the pieces. um, it's never too late, to find your direction. Number 5. So, number 6. Make it happen. Oh dear, oh dear. Making it happen. Mm, Making it happen is also different. between concluding things that you made happen. You need to have closure as well. Although making it happen, meaning to say, is start with that project, have have the skill of organization. If you don't have the skill of organization, if you don't have that skill, do it anyways. Then you will learn how to organize yourself the next time, and you would be able to settle for less mediocre less mediocre thing, as at least you have done something, at least you have finished something. But then in the future, you will not settle for at least. I also hate, one of those phrases that I hate is at least. It's kind of like giving yourself consolation, but I use that to pamper myself, or to cushion myself positively, so that I don't end up thinking, or feeling depressed. At least I got something out of it. But make it happen. Make it happen. Do the action. Buy the camera. Buy the merch. Go get Photog's Life merch. Make it happen, man. Make it happen. Wow. I really enjoyed doing these content for you guys, and I really enjoyed playing with my equipment here. And it's not a big investment though, but it's not that. It's just the medium of having this opportunity to broadcast yourself, so that haters would see your face. You work so hard to reach that, and then they work so hard to you work so hard to be included, and once they noticed you, they work so hard for you not to be included again. Because what they say is, you're already you already crossed the boundaries. You're already overqualified, Chris. Man, oh man. um I would like to say hello to uh Mr. Gabriel Rimando, the founder of FI. Thank you for watching. I hope you still watching. You didn't skip. Ana del Rosario, thank you. Felix, thank you for watching. And Keith, Owen Ponce, thank you for watching. And the hundreds of thousands of people who will be watching my videos, thank you very much and for having me. And again, please follow our social media pages. Our links are down below. I am still working on things, and there will be happenings soon in October. And as soon as I get my poster, I will share it with you guys. And it's been a lovely, lovely week. It's been a lovely weekend. I will try to persuade the wifey to go out with me with the kids today, so that, because I miss them terribly. I've been working the whole week. I've been working the whole weekend last week, and I hate doing that. But that's once of the price to pay if you really want to build those bridge that will make you secure in crossing the other side. And awesome, awesome, awesome. So, right. Thank you and good afternoon. Cheers.